Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dies Cast. My name is Russell S.A.N, and with me I have...
Fishman!
When last we left off, our pair of young wizards had just dealt with a night raid by kobolds with some assistance from the local druid, Leah Nilo, and their master, Ren Brennan. And aided by the captain of the watch and a few other members, they dealt with the remaining kobolds that were not destroyed in the initial salvo, and were able to bring some degree of peace back to the town of Lakeside, at least temporarily. The casualties were not too high, though there were some.
Half a dozen, I think.
Yes, I think you said it was half a dozen. During this time, they also discovered that a subterranean section of the watchtower that went rather far down into the rock of the Plateau. It was filled with traps, and after a few attempts to rescue some watch members who had fallen into said subterranean chamber filled with traps, they managed to get back out with their lives. And it would seem that Father Gregor and his cultists had failed to put in any appearance during the kobold raid, and when last we left off, we saw them possibly dealing with some of the fallout over that among the followers of the cult of Mithras. With everything... Additionally, our wizards spoke with their mentor and received 2 bags of holding, and effectively serving as not so much a going away present as perhaps a graduation present from their apprenticeship.
God love bags of holding.
Ren finally coming to grips with the fact that his 2 young apprentices are choosing a different path in life than he did.
Yep.
And that is basically where we left off. Us returning to the village, and I think that's where we'll start. So,
right.
It has been a day since those events so far, so everyone has been so we're rested.
Yep.
And we just finished picking up all our supplies, and we are currently in your house.
Okay. What time of day is it? I don't remember.
At the moment, it's probably the sun is up, so, but it's still very early morning. We're probably talking about 7:30 going on 8.
All right. So, if I remember correctly, Ivor was waiting until, the fires from the kobold raid were dealt with, got the people situated as far as a place to stay while things are being rebuilt. He wanted all that to be taken care of before we dealt with Father Gregor.
Yes, he wanted the general chaos to die down, and for us to get some rest, and Mustafa to get some rest, and for us to rescue Mustafa from the underground section of the watchtower, and basically give everyone some time to prepare.
Well, let's go and talk to him and see if he is ready to, basically go in and try and arrest him. I suspect that's what he wants to do.
It does seem that that's the most likely outcome at the moment. Even with everything Gregor's done, I don't think Ivor wants to just kill him on the spot. He probably wants Ivor for a change, to feel the strong arm of the law.
Yeah, I think, from what I gathered when I was talking to him, he wanted him to face a trial. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the population will decide. We'll see.
We will see. It may not come to that. Yeah. At least in both our minds, we probably suspect that Father Gregor is not the sort of one who is going to submit himself to that form of justice, as it is. He's probably going to come up with some way of worming out of it.
Well, let's go see Ivor, and we will figure out what he has planned.
Okay, so after a short breakfast, effectively.
Yeah.
We are going to
head
head
out of my house here
yeah.
and head across and talk to Ivor.
So we head to the alderman's estate.
Yep.
As we head out, it's a nice morning. It's a bit damp. There is some fog, and there's not too many people out, apart from the farmers who obviously get up around this time. It's a bit early for workouts, you think?
Oh, I assume farmers been up for a while.
Yes, but there are other people who do not get up this early.
Yeah. All right. As we step out of my house, is Albert up? I assume.
So you look over towards Albrecht's forge in his house.
Yeah.
You don't hear any sounds from there. You don't see him over there. It looks all dark, but that doesn't. No. He might be out. He might be asleep. You don't know.
All right. Let's go see Ivor.
Okay. It doesn't take you long to get there.
Yeah. That's across the courtyard. All right.
So
I'll knock on the door.
So you knock.
Yeah.
It takes a moment. It takes a moment for someone to answer it, and in that moment you realize, oh yes, that's probably because we got the steward arrested. It's like because Varus no longer works here, so he was the one who frequently would answer the door for the alderman.
Yep.
The door opens, and we are greeted instead by Mustafa, the watch commander. He has a friendly look on his face, but he also has a look of some determination on his face. Basically, you think it's like he's come to the same conclusion we have.
All right, if we come in?
Yes, he says, please come in.
Well, by the look on your face, I suspect you and Ivor have come to a decision.
You do know, yep, he nods. You notice that the door to Ivor's office, which is on the ground floor, is open. His study, basically. And he is sat in his chair, and you see sitting in one of the chairs across from that is Albrecht.
Oh, well, we're all here. So
I take it we all enter his office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our
Albrecht nods to us.
casual greetings.
Yep.
I ask Ivor, well, what kind of decision have you come to?
He says, looking around. I've asked Mustafa to gauge the feelings of the people at the moment about that matter. And he says, He says, Gregor has lost a considerable amount of followers and influence in the past 48 hours. He says,
all right.
He says he and his cultists and Bilius have effectively barricaded themselves in the Temple of Mithras at the moment.
Really? That's interesting.
They do not seem to be going. They never seem to go out on their own anymore. It's always in groups, and they only seem to go from either their house or the temple at the moment. At least in the past few days.
Wow. Well, last time I saw them, they were surrounded by a bunch of people, and they didn't look happy.
Albrecht speaks to us. They are plotting something. I can feel it.
Ah, I love the paranoia. But I don't think you're wrong. I think there's something up, because he doesn't seem the personality just to roll over and accept his fate.
We didn't notice that. Mustafa says, there was one other thing I did notice.
What's that?
It says, it was foggy at the time. It was foggy this morning, but I was able to notice some strange creature flying over the plateau in the early morning.
I described to Mustafa the one that we killed.
Okay, so you go to describe the little demonic creature that we encountered.
The fiend, yes.
All right. So he says, he thinks about it. He says, that could have been it. I didn't get a very good look, but that sounds about the right size of a flying creature I saw.
So apparently there wasn't just the one. All right.
He says, It did not stick around long, at the very least. Perhaps it saw me spot it.
Well, the one we encountered wasn't much of a threat. So hopefully this is just, I don't know, another one. Certainly not the main concern for us at the moment, I don't think.
He says, yes, I suppose it might just be the current situation. He says, if for all I know, it could just have been a creature flying overhead. He says, but it's just like instinct at this point. I'm a little on edge. I was worried it might have been a spy or a scout, I suppose.
Well, that is definitely a thought. Because when we encountered the one we encountered, I kind of had the same thoughts. Nothing came of it, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view.
He said,
but
I speak up at this point. He says, the one that we dealt with, at the very least, if it was a scout or a spy, it didn't report back. It is dead. So that is at least one saving grace.
Kind of melted.
Ivor speaks up at this point and says, this is a problem for another time, I believe. We have to come to a decision about Gregor. Says, we may not need to act immediately, but we do need to come to one. Says,
well, you want my opinion?
You are here at this council for that reason.
In polite words, arrest his butt, put him on trial, and see what the people have to say. Because he has tried to kill you, tried to kill us, and he needs to face that. He has to be able to at least try and explain his actions. Beyond that, I don't really care. I mean, if he wants to fight back, that'd be fine.
Ivor says, I've already spoken with the Tea Leaf family. They are not necessarily happy with the current situation, but they are at least pleased that their daughter was not executed.
Yes, we chatted with them as well. We're definitely going to make sure she's okay. But we need to, of course, make sure that this place is okay before we do anything like that.
That is part of the urgency, I feel. He says, it has been, admittedly, only 2 days. He says, yes, it has only been 2 days from, but she has been out there all on her own in the wild. Who knows?
So, if you'll take my suggestion, why not deal with this now? Don't let it fester. Let's go deal with it. Once he's under arrest, then we can think about going and trying to find Bree and then make sure she's okay.
And Mustafa speaks up his point. Well, this isn't the easiest thing. We are a bit short on manpower at the moment. 2 watch officers are dead. One is firmly on their side. One is in recovery, and the others are helping around, and the other members are trying to help relocate the people who lost their homes in the Kobold raid.
Yes, but at the moment, I think his popularity is at an all-time low, and before he manages to squirm his way back into some favor, I think at least we only have him and his acolytes and his charming son to deal with at the moment.
Albrecht brings his hand down on his... I was not nearly as loud as I thought it was going to be. he brings his hand down on his on the rest of his chair, and he says, like, I agree with this. It says, there may be only 5 of us, but as far as I count, it only evens the odds. It says, and most of them are not fighters. It says, as far as I'm aware. Gregor, and whatever... Gregor may have his magic on his side, but I think that just means we have him outnumbered as far as magic is concerned at the moment. Because we cannot let him regain his strength in this town.
All right, we've heard from. We've heard from
Yes.
Albrecht. He's definitely one. I want to. Aquans.
I say, we cannot leave him here. He says, I'm going to probably say one of the few things no one else at this table is going to say at the moment. He needs to die.
Well, it definitely might come to that.
Mustafa says, I agree. He says, the odds are not necessarily in our favor, though. This could go either way. Ivor says, but the odds will be even. He says, I will be standing with you in this. He says, I have sat idly a bit too long, I think, and allowed Gregor to have his way. He says,
so let's just do this. Let's stop pining about it and stop planning. Let's just go do it, and then we'll know.
He says, Mustafa, Mustafa, I would like you to assist me getting into my old armor and dressing to my weapons. He says, and the rest of you gather whatever you could what you feel you need for this, and then we shall head out in a short order. So we're basically being given a short time period to gather anything we feel like we might need. Admittedly, because of our new bags of holding, that probably means we're carrying most of the things we feel like we need for this. But is there anything else you want to pick up? You basically have probably like about 5 to 10 minutes to think of something.
Honestly, nothing. Nothing is going to do anything in what I would consider what's coming up. I mean, if he just gets arrested, it doesn't matter. If he decides to fight back, I don't think anything we can pick up will make a difference.
Probably not.
Unless, of course, we might want to try buying another healing potion, maybe. But you and I already have 2 between us.
Yeah. There's not time to make more.
No. I mean, we do have some money.
Yeah, we do have. Well, we have a fair bit of coin, but the only place to buy healing potions would be from your own mother. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you want to try?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
2's enough.
So
It better be.
So you and I would basically exit the alderman's study. He and Mustafa are going to go up to his room basically to get him into his old armor, and basically he's going to dress for the first battle. In who knows how long? We haven't actually neither of us have ever seen Ivor fight. We know he practices fencing, but that's about it. So that leaves the 2 of us and Albrecht, who also came prepared, expecting this to end in a fight already. You see, he has his he has a warhammer as well. It's not quite the same as Bilius's, obviously. He also has a chainmail on. He's come prepared, expecting a fight. So so 3 of us waiting there for the moment.
All right. I'm going to bring my familiar into this realm.
Your owl? Okay, you summon your owl.
I have her fly up in a spiral pattern. I want to have a nice aerial
outside
view of. What's that?
Outside, not in the foyer.
Outside, yes. Have her spiral around the village. Get a nice aerial view, and I definitely want to focus on what's going on around here as well. So I was gonna have her spiral out and around, and then have a look at this. And I'm going to just lean against the wall and focus on her senses and see what I see.
Because you are going to possibly be spying on a cleric who knows that we have familiars at this point and will recognize your owl on sight if he spots it. How high is your owl flying?
Initially, it's just going to start spiraling up. So in total, probably about 50, 60 feet by the end of it all.
Okay, so that you do know that is well within range of some of Gregor's spells.
If he shoots my owl down, that's it. I am going to go blasting him.
Okay, so your owl will spiral up to 60 feet in the air, doing a circle.
And then just keep extending the range and having a look at pretty much the whole village. I want to see, the possibility of him having some of the peasants, getting together or anything is probably really, really low. but I want to see if there's any kind of activity that is unusual. And
Okay.
that's about it.
Okay, so I want you
And
to
of
roll...
course, I want to see if there's anything like right around there.
Okay. So I want you to roll a perception check. You're going to be doing this at advantage because your owl's keen senses. The keen senses sight.
That'd be a 21.
Alright, and before I tell you the results of that, please also roll a stealth check for your owl. Because I assume you are attempting to be a little discreet here.
+3, I think, for stealth for now.
Yes, I think
14.
So. Okay.
So above most passive perception, but if they're looking, they might see her.
Okay. So, the good news is, your owl spirals around and takes a look. You don't see much activity at the moment. There are obviously some farmers who are out and about, but bear in mind that there was a good amount of farmland that got scorched, and a lot of that area is no longer in use, and so they would have moved to probably family or friends to help on other farms. Yep. So there is less than you would expect this early in the morning sometimes. There's no activity really coming from the Temple of Mithras at the moment. The lights are on in both buildings.
Yeah.
So there are probably people up in both the temple and Gregor's house. But for the moment, that's it. And the good news is your owl does not get blasted out of the sky. Yet.
Yes. Well, once I'm fairly certain that there's nothing but normal activity, normal plus the fire, I will unsummon her, and I'll just leave her in the Fae for now.
Okay.
I'll call her back if necessary.
So it doesn't... Alright. So, by the time we finish all that, Mustafa and Ivor are coming back downstairs from above. So you obviously have seen Mustafa in his guard regalia with his new magic short sword and shield and his armor. He was basically the only one you were expecting to see all ready for battle. Ivor, you've never seen really dressed up. He has a rather ornate-looking breastplate, which, despite looking quite old, despite being probably quite old as a family heirloom, is fairly well maintained, and he has a very fine rapier at his belt as well in the scabbard.
All right.
I
think we're ready to go.
Though it does come to you as you see this that he probably doesn't look like a natural fighter himself.
All right. I want to address everyone here for a second.
Yeah.
I have a tactical suggestion. From a purely visual point of view, I think Ivor, you should be in the middle, in the front, and then be on both sides have Mustafa and Albrecht, and then we'll be more like in the back as support, just from a visual point of view. For this is obviously your this is official, and you guys are the officials. We're just there to help out. That's the visual. But I want to bring to your attention something you mean. Well, Ivor probably hasn't seen the hammer yet, has he? I don't think so, has he?
No, he was in bed the entire time that would have happened. Yeah. Mustafa would probably have... Mustafa and Albrecht knows, and Mustafa would have gotten a look at it when he tried to bash down the door of the watchtower.
Yes. I want to explain to, especially to Ivor, but the others, we can't physically attack them. At least not initially, anyway. We should not be the initial aggressors, because if that happens, it is likely that Bilius is going to attack us, and he has a magical warhammer now. So
Albrecht speaks up at this point and says, "Whereas if we wait, he is likely to attack us."
It is possible, but at least if he attacks us, that takes care of any kind of legal aspects to this, I think. This is something I want you to keep in mind. You are of your own minds. Do what you want. It is merely a suggestion.
Obviously, you are speaking to three lawfully minded individuals, as you say that, and they all think it over. Mustafa and Ivor agree with you. Ulbrich agrees, albeit begrudgingly, because he does see this as a bit of a formality. Obviously, a dwarf's view on law is a little different than a human's view on law. They're, from what you understand, at least from what you understand of dwarvish culture, their laws govern a whole bunch of things, and part of that is they governs war and also retribution and that sort of thing. And this is possibly what that's heading towards in his mind, you might think. But he's going along with it. He understands tactics, at least.
Yes. We don't want... Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Let's just do this. It was a suggestion. It's not that important. Just something I want you to keep in mind. That hammer is not something to be toyed with.
All right. So, Mustafa opens the door and heads out first, and the rest of us follow out.
I was already out.
Oh, yeah, we were. Okay, so they close the door behind them. Ivor actually takes out his key and locks the door. All right. Says, yeah. And then we form up into the formation that you suggested. That seems like a wise one to go for. There's only going to be one problem with that.
What?
Three people cannot walk abreast across that bridge.
That's all right.
So that is going to be
It doesn't have to be that way the entire time.
But that is going to be the one snag. But
when we get here, that is the formation we should head across, and the rest of it doesn't really matter so much.
Okay.
3 people can't walk abreast on this bridge? Carts go across this thing.
That's right.
Carts go across this thing.
Maybe they could. Wait, there are carts up here? We've never...
Oh, yeah. I don't think they carry everything in buckets and wheelbarrows. Anyway.
We've never mentioned it.
No, it's true. It's never come up before.
So we cross the bridge, and we are heading towards our effectively... our adversaries at this point, as what they are in our minds.
Yes.
And the door to the Temple of Mithras opens.
All right.
And you see the 3 acolytes, basically.
So we're right here at the moment?
Yeah, we just left the bridge. We're going into your formation, really, at this point.
Right.
Forward, and the 3 of them are coming out of the temple doors.
Right.
They're wearing...
I firebolt one of them.
You firebolt one of them?
No.
No.
I want to.
I just want to make clear. Was that firebolt with a T or fireball?
We're not there yet.
No, but I'm just curious. I heard it as could have been either of them. So obviously,
That's okay.
So you show some restraint.
All the restraint I'm going to show today, probably.
You notice they're still wearing their clerical robes, except you notice that they're probably also wearing armor underneath it, which is something they don't normally do. And in addition to the ritualistic daggers of Mithras, they also have the scimitars at their hips, which you saw on the ones we were guarding the Undercroft with. Which is this is probably something that they don't like to admit that they have often, but they look ready for battle themselves.
I want to do an insight check on their faces.
All right.
Insight is wisdom?
Yes.
16.
16. Okay, they look a little surprised to see us, but not only a little. It's like they weren't expecting this to... They look like they're prepared. They look like they're prepared for this sort of situation, but they weren't expecting action this quickly.
So they're a little surprised?
A little surprised to see us right here, right now. But that's about it as far as it's going.
Right.
And it's at this point that the door to Gregor's house opens.
Yep.
And out comes Bilius, who is very surprised to see us.
Yep.
And Gregor, who turns as he turns his head to look in our direction. And he's surprised, but you think a little bit, but he's the least surprised. He's probably thinking, yes, it probably has come to this. He is also, you just faintly see with your passive perception that he's also probably wearing armor. beneath his clerical robes. You can just see where at the collar line, you think there's a bit of glint of possibly looks like a chain shirt.
What weapons is he carrying?
He just has his dagger, as far as you could tell. His ritualistic dagger, which is a functional weapon, though. Right. And Bilius has his leather armor and the hammer, which he cannot part with, apparently.
His lifelong partner now.
So that is the image of the moment. Us in the formation that we're facing them, and those two groups, which are only a few feet from one another, really, so...
Yep.
Gregor closes the door, and much the same way as Ivor did, locks it, and goes to stand by basically stand between his cultists and his son, basically, so they have almost like a line at the moment.
Okay.
He says...
I suggest, I say quietly to Ivor, yeah. I think this is close enough for the moment. I think if you're going to have anything you want to say to him, you say it from a bit of a distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In case you're curious, the distance at the moment between us is... well, sorry. Do you want to know the distance between you and Gregor, or just the two sides?
That's fine. Just the general group distance is fine.
It's probably about 60 feet.
Alright.
He says... Gregor speaks to this one and says... Alderman, I was not expecting you to be up and out so early this morning.
Yes, your poison didn't work as well as you had hoped.
You say that quite loudly.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah. I also want you to roll an insight check at the moment. As you say that.
Insight will be 7.
He keeps most emotion from his face. You do notice that he looks like he looks a little pale, which is something odd. And then you think back to your little idea of administering the last bit of poison to his holy text, and you start to think, so there was a reason why he wasn't up and about helping out the night prior.
You look a little peaked there, Gregor. You not feeling well?
He, 1 second, I'm going to roll insight for him. Natural 1! He's confused by what you're saying. He's got something else on his mind.
I say, you shouldn't lick your fingers when you open books, you know. That ought to clue him in.
I'm going to give him another roll. It's enough. Yes, he says, you, too, have been the source of much of my misfortune of late. You hear him say?
Oh, it's not over yet. Come on.
At this point, Ivor decides to speak up. He says, Father Gregor, for crimes against the citizens of Lakeside, I place you under arrest to stand trial for your crimes.
Okay, now we're waiting for the response.
Yep, I'm going to see... Oh, So, you think, like, it has all the good aspects of a good accusation and speech, but you've realized that Ivor is still also probably recovering, and there's probably still some strength lacking in him. I'm afraid the roll wasn't very good. Gregor
I'm more interested in Gregor's response.
He doesn't burst out laughing. He's looking around and seeing that this is, like he's calculating his chances at the moment, you think. You don't think he's too pleased with the situation, because even numbers, but you think he's thinking probably not even odds.
Alright, let's escalate this. I yell out to him, Gregor, you have one option. And that is, have you and all your followers drop all your weapons and holy items and step away from them, or we will deal with you as you have tried to deal with us. Oh, Fuggle. Should I roll?
Oh, you want to roll for that? Okay, this would be intimidation.
Yep. Oh, I rolled an 18.
-1.
-1.
So, 18?
18 for intimidation.
Alright. I'm not gonna roll for the cultists, because that's very good enough for them, but I will see what the other... Gregor is not even remotely intimidated. He rolled a natural 20 on that.
Oh.
Bilious, on the other hand, is not liking the looks of this. You see, he's very much unhappy, and the cultists are just looking. Everyone is looking to Gregor on how to proceed, and unfortunately, his will seems to be very strong at the moment.
What a waste of a 19.
He rolled a natural 20, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it happens.
Well, look on the bright side. It wasn't an attack roll. Or a saving throw.
So I take it he's not, dropping his weapons.
No, he is not. And he says... He looks at it and he says, "If it has come to this, then I think we will meet our fates with weapons in hand," says, "as Mithras decrees." His hand goes to...
That's a challenge? Alright.
It's at this point I want you to make a perception check.
Well, Owl's not around, so it's just a regular perception
I'm
check.
going to roll one for myself and one for Gregor. Everyone else is a little... Right. Perception on
I
myself.
don't have perception, I don't think.
So it's whatever your wisdom is.
Yeah, no, I don't have perception as a skill.
No.
I'm apparently really focused on these guys. I rolled an 8.
I rolled a natural 8 plus 3, so for an 11. And Gregor... does Gregor have perception? I'll just check that for a second. He does. Okay. Gregor's rolled the highest out of all of us. He rolled a 17. You know is that you're a little focused on this, so is everyone else. You notice that... Then you notice that corner I turn to look basically almost directly behind us, and Gregor looks in that direction as well. As he says, "What is that sound?" He says.
I will have my owl come into existence, and I have her fly up and look in that direction. I'm going to keep looking at Gregor.
Okay, so you're having your owl look in that direction. Are you perceiving through her senses?
Not right away. I'm going to let her get some height first, and then I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder and tell you to watch Gregor, and then I'll have a look through my owl senses and see what I see back there.
Okay. So it's around this time that we're staring that direction. There is fog because the lake comes right in here and there's a river. So fog comes off of that quite easily in the morning.
Yeah.
But you do start to hear it as well. You hear something big moving this way.
Well, my owl has keen hearing as well,
keen
right?
seeing, yep. So at this point you're going to be entering your owl's perception to make this check.
We are looking at a 15 this time for perception for my owl.
Okay. So it is foggy, but I don't think that's going to really impact this. So that would be that's the only reason this check is being made, because this is not subtle.
Right.
You see something very large moving through the fog.
Where?
Along this up towards us, basically, through this farmland.
All right. So hold on a sec. So we're here.
Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah.
Where? Here?
Basically through the fields, basically in the tree line.
Right through here.
It's almost a straight line, almost.
And what do I see?
Right, the first thing you notice, because they're higher up, is you see 3 creatures that look almost identical to the one we saw before. They have a almost pitch black leathery hide. They have wings. They have a vaguely skull-like face with horns. They're carrying a pitchfork. There are almost like elements of you're not sure if it's bone or it's chitin or something that just looks like ribs or something, but it's like there's elements of them that almost look like they're like they have bones exposed, and they have pitchforks, and these are the same and tails, and these are the same flying fiends that we fought previously, the one we took down before.
Right.
But there's something else larger moving across the across the field, and as it comes into view, you realize that it is a large, and I mean large, as in size category, the giant spider, and there is someone standing on its thorax, effectively, and using it as a mount. And that is the sight that all of us are turning to see coming towards us at this point.
All right. I'm coming back to myself at this point.
Yep.
And
are you doing anything about your owl?
Yeah. Popping her out of existence. Okay. And I say to our group, we need to back up. Right now we're being sandwiched between two groups.
Yeah,
we need to move back up onto the bridge.
Okay, so we move back up onto the bridge.
Yeah. Would be... Ivor can stay in the middle. It doesn't really matter at this point, but the three fighter types, us behind, and we're going to back up and make sure that we're not getting sandwiched here. That would be really bad.
Okay. How far back on the bridge are we going? Bearing in mind that we are probably only going to have a round to position ourselves here before.
Well, I mean... We were right about here. I suspect we only could probably get to about halfway anyway, so...
Yeah. Also, if we go much further back, well, the fiend things can fly, but still. There will be other things in the crossfire at that point.
I think the bridge is a reasonably good defensive position, so...
So, we go back, and then Ivor and Mustafa and Albrecht just have Ivor stand. Basically, it's a slightly different formation than what you envisioned. It's basically 3 rows now. Us, and then Ivor in the middle, and then Albrecht and Mustafa.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He's not really a fighter.
No. He is drawing his rapier, though.
Okay.
And then, the giant spider.
One other thing I want to do. I want to take out the night crystal.
Yep.
And I want to activate it.
You're activating it now, okay?
Well, it lasts an hour.
Okay.
What did I set that at?
You're asking me?
I don't know. I'm thinking it was a 10, right? I rolled a 6, but plus 6 is 12.
Plus 12,
so we're okay.
So we're fine. All right.
But that was a close one.
All right.
So we now have a knight out.
What are its hit points? Because that's all I'm going to need to really add here to keep track of.
We'll have a look.
Because I do not have this thing's stats. Because it was something.
It has hit points of 12 and armor class of 15.
Okay.
And I suggest you get one of the Beast War guys out. Either
at this point, you mean?
Right
already?
Oh, right away, yeah.
All right. Following.
It's a suggestion. You can do whatever you want.
No, but it's a good suggestion. Following your decision, I'm going to appraise the situation and say, okay, flyers, that could be a problem. And I'm going to pull out the Emerald Wasp stat crystal. Alright, so it's an Arcana check to activate these, and the DC is 10. Yep. Alright. I rolled a 10, plus 6, so it's good.
Alright. So we also have the Wasp.
Yes, we have Waspinator. Terrorize! There, I said it. Now, excuse me while I pull up a giant wasp here, because I didn't plan that.
Alright. That bolsters our numbers a bit.
Yeah, no, it does.
And then it's going to order the knight to move into the lead ahead of everybody here. For the moment, I'm not going to have it attack anything.
Yeah. The giant wasp actually has more hit points than the knight.
Really?
By 1.
Wow.
It has 13 hit points.
How many hit points?
13.
The knight has 20.
Oh, you said 12.
No, 20.
I'm pretty sure you said 12, but okay, it's 20?
Yep.
Okay.
With an armor class of 15.
Yeah, no, the Nunnery hits a much higher armor class.
Yeah. Small and mobile.
Okay, so the giant wasp is basically hovering above us. The
Yep.
green crystalline wasp, which no one was expecting that to come from. And then Gregor sees you summon your knight. What type of gem was it? What did you...
I don't remember, to tell you the truth. We'll just call it Diamond.
Okay, so the diamond knight is basically at the front now. And Gregor sees that, and you can see is the last thing clicking into place, and you can... He's a little unhappy. It's about this point the giant spider crests over the fence.
Oh, wow. So it's right about here now.
Yeah, they can move.
Wow.
It doesn't count. Having this guy on his back doesn't count against his move rate because it's a size category up.
Right.
About, yeah, 60 feet around. They were coming. It was dashing.
Oh, hi, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. If it's 60 rate of movement, we're not getting away from this. We're going to have to deal with it.
No, but it was just moving and dashing everything basically to get here quickly.
Hey, I got it.
So you see the giant spider. It's a big, hairy tarantula-style spider. You also see the 3 imp-like fiends who are now circling overhead, and the figure, who is...
Yeah. What does this thing look like that's riding the spider?
Well, it is... He, I suppose, is humanoid, and you suspect is human, but there's something very odd about this person.
What's that?
They're wearing long, like, purple-violet robes with gold trim, and on their chest there is a symbol, which is a hand, like, almost like grasping forward, and in that, traced on that is a 7-pointed star.
Okay.
And what strikes you as odd about this person isn't their attire, though, it's their skin. It's got... One hand is their left hand is an ordinary human hand. Their right hand is covered in green scales. It looks reptilian. There are claws coming off of it as well, and his face is exposed. His neck also has green scales creeping up the right side of his face and coming up his neck, his face, and then it sort of almost forms almost like one of those eye masks around his eyes, and his eyes look reptilian as well, like yellow, like a snake. And it doesn't look... It looks like the scales are also partially, like, shedding off, almost. A little bit, in some ways.
Okay. He's molting?
Almost, like, in some spots it looks like that. He doesn't look... There's something odd about him. He doesn't look the healthiest of individuals, you think, possibly? It's odd. It's a very unusual experience. This has everyone looking like, what in the world is... You think Gregor would actually be going into a speech about like the evils off the plateau at this point if he wasn't also probably stunned to silence by everything that just showed up. And this individual speaks now. At this point, says, "I am Zorik, the Lord of Venom." He says, "Demigod of the Court of 7." He says, "Your village and this entire land now falls under our dominion." He says, "Surrender and you will live to serve. Resist and you will be slaughtered." And he seems to be waiting for your response. The response of both groups.
Well, I know my response.
What is your response?
I firebolt him.
Make an attack roll.
Well, hopefully his armor class is low. 12.
The firebolt goes wide and misses him.
Wave.
And he says, "So be it." And
Guess
we
we
roll
roll
for
initiative now?
initiative. And I ask for some patience on everyone's part here because I'm going to have to roll a lot of initiatives. So roll...
I gotta roll 1.
No, 2, you're knight.
Oh, good God.
You're knight as well. Does a separate
Right.
initiative.
Oh, wow.
Alright, could be worse. The Wasps initiative.
You want to just call them out? I'll help keep track.
Alright, so I have a 9, and the Wasp has a
Alright.
5. How did you do?
I have a 6, and the knight has a 20.
Oh, the Knight has a natural 20 or just... no.
Cumulative 20.
Okay, total of 20. Alright! Alright, I'm going to roll the rest of our side of the moment, so Ivor, Mustafa, and Albrecht. Oh boy. Okay. Well, that's one good number. Alright. No, was I? Well, one good thing is Ivor also has a 20 initiative.
Ivor has a 20?
Yep.
Wow.
Mustafa has a 4. Albrecht has a natural 1.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, Gregor, Bilius, and Zorak are next. Okay, that's the second one that die is rolled.
Who gets the other one?
That is Bilius, believe it or not.
Julius has a natural 1. Excellent.
Okay. Gregor has a 5, so he's going with the Wasp.
Wow.
Alright, Zorak, what was your initiative?
What about the acolytes?
I haven't rolled them yet. Zorak has a 15.
Alright.
Alright, and the groups of enemies. The Giant Spider, the Cultists, and the Cacodemon Pawns. Alright, the Acolytes actually rolled pretty well. They have an 18. Sorry, the Cultists.
Wow.
Giant
Spider.
The Giant Spider is plus 2, so 15. It's going at the same time as its rider.
Wow. And then the flyers.
And the Cacodemon Pawns. What's their initiative? What's your initiative, guys? Plus 2. 8.
We have an 8.
Okay. So,
Wow.
Ivor and the Knights have the same initiative. And that's where we're starting.
Okay.
What's the Knight's Dex modifier? Do you have that? 2?
Plus 2.
Plus 2. Okay, that's better than Ivor, so he goes first. The Knight's up first. So you have to give this thing verbal instructions.
Yes.
So your turn isn't up yet, so you cannot give it instructions yet.
Yeah, true enough.
So the last instruction was to go to the front line and.
That's where it's going to stay until I give it an instruction.
Alright, so that's its turn, I'm afraid.
Yes.
So we have Ivor. Now. Okay. Ivor is going to use one of his basically only special ability, and up to 6 friendly creatures. That includes summon things. Yeah, that's fine. 1 second. There's 7 at the moment. I'm just going to. Yeah, that could be a problem.
What?
Okay, he is going to turn to us and say, "Gentlemen, it is perhaps fortuitous that this has come about. We must deal with Gregor and this intruder." He says, "I hope you are all with me." And he's going to use his Inspiring Speech ability, which, once per day, he can choose up to 6 friendly creatures. He is choosing the 4 of us and the 2 summoned creatures. That was what I was rolling for, to see if he'd exclude himself from this ability, because he could choose not to. He did.
Okay.
And they gain temporary hit points equal to D10 plus his charisma modifier. Temporary hit points.
Alright. So, oh well.
12 temporary hit points.
Oh, that's amazing. I'll take it.
Yeah, so that's to myself. That's to you. That's to your knight.
Yeah, he has 32 hit points now.
That's to the wasp. And then it's to Mustafa and Ulbrich.
How long does this last?
1 minute.
Alright.
Yeah, though him excluding himself from that might be a bit of a mistake. We'll see. Alright. That's initiative count 20. The cultists are up next at 18.
Yep. What do they do?
They draw their scimitars. And they start to basically form sort of like a ring as much as they can with the three of them in front of Gregor. So they're basically forming up around him. And they are holding their swords. They're basically holding their action until anything comes within range to attack them.
Right. Okay.
Alright. So at 15, we have Zork and the giant spider going together. Zork is going to go first because he's in charge of them.
Alright.
He says... He looks at the... He just takes a moment to eye the two sides up. And he says... Yes. He says, you, them, my pet, attack that side. And he's going to use his movement to jump off and jump on the other side of the fence. I'm just going to roll a acrobatics check. He makes it. So he doesn't have to lose any movement doing that. And he is going to, for his action on his... Alright, so the first thing he's going to do is... You see him begin to cast a spell, but there's a glow about his eyes, and it's almost like this energy pulses along the scales of his skin. You've never seen a sorcerer do this before. You think this is probably... He's a bit more advanced than Bree and the other ones we've faced. He's going to spend 2 sorcery points right off the bat to use Quicken Dispel and cast Blur as a bonus action. And you see his entire form. Basically, it's like the resolution's been turned down, and he is suddenly much harder to see exactly where he is. He blurs beyond his edge of his vision. All right. And because it's a bonus action, he can use a cantrip. And yeah, this is probably going to be the best one. I'm going to go with... Yeah, no, that's perfect. Choose. Do it. Yeah, okay. He, sizing up the two sides, sees that ours is somewhat larger now.
Yep.
And he is going to he raises his clawed hand, and this green bubble of liquid forms there. And he flings it in our direction, and it's going. Your knight and Mustafa need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Right.
As the bubble flies between them and then bursts.
Knight has a 14.
Mustafa has a 5.
Ow.
14 altogether?
Yes.
Both fail.
Wow. He has a good spell save DC.
1d6 acid damage as the acid splash hits both of them.
Okay.
1 point of acid damage to both of them.
Okay.
Cantrips can only do so much, so that eats away 1 temporary hit point.
Yes.
But he's now on the opposite end of the fence that we are all on, and he has blur, so he feels a bit safer. Alright.
I bet he does. Yeah.
Alright, and the giant spider is up next, and he was told... He's sending it at Gregor's side.
Oh. Alright.
He think he might want numbers against... So, the giant spider has to dash to get there. Because it's basically standing where we were. Now, we were about 60 feet from it. So it gets to the front line of the cultists. It has to dash to do that. So I'm pretty sure that doesn't. Pretty sure that's all it can do. Yeah. And then three.
So weren't there 3 held
And then,
actions on that
three
side?
cultists are going to draw. Going to try to swing that with its scimitar. Okay, its armor class is not bad. 2 hits. I kid you not. These are the luckiest cultists in the world. They both just rolled a 6 on a d6.
Wow. So the spider takes 12 points of damage?
No, it takes 14 points of damage because they have a +1 dex mod.
Excellent. Not that I really want to cheer on the cultists.
So one misses completely. The other 2 score very deep cuts into this thing. It makes a it screams effectively as much as a spider can in pain.
We don't have lungs. Oh, actually, I don't know. Giant spider.
It doesn't, but it is not happy as the swords sink quite far into it, and its blood seeps out. It's take a beating already. All right. So after the 15 is me. Oh wow!
You're up next.
I'm next. Okay. Okay, I can give the wasp instructions now because I go before it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. All right, never leave an enemy spellcaster unattended. I say after him. I point at Zorak.
Alright, so
That's what the wasp is going to be doing.
Wasp is going to attack. What's its move rate?
The wasp's move rate 50 feet flying.
How far is Zorak away?
Not that far.
Oh, excellent. So you can get an attack it.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. So its turn isn't yet though. So we're still on my turn.
Oh, you're.
I was just telling you what it's going to be doing.
All right.
What do I want to do? Situation seems in hand at the moment. I'm worried about those flyers. I'm gonna cast Frostbite on one of them.
Alright.
We've dealt with these things before.
I take it the flyers are ordered to attack us.
And the one, it rolls a natural 1. So we're off to a good start. That's a crit fail. Just another 6, please. Another 6, please. I will not say no to a 5.
So one of the flyers takes
10 points of cold damage. This one does scream in pain as the water moisture in the air flash freezes to its skin. All right.
Hopefully not using all our luck in the first few seconds.
We probably
of this.
are. And then I'm gonna stay where I am because I'm feeling a little cocky with my suddenly 30 hit points.
Yeah.
Okay.
The flyers are up next.
Yes, they are. So that cockiness might come back to haunt us. So, the bad news is, because the giant wasp can easily fly to get to Zork, the Keiko demon pawns can easily fly to get to us.
Yeah, kind of figured. And you made a friend with one of them.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that one's going for me. I'm going to roll for the other ones. They're both going for you. Twice. I rolled a d6. Like, okay, I'll be 1, 2. It was like and so on, but 2 2s. They're both going for you.
I am popular.
I'm going to roll the one who's going at me first because it has disadvantage, thanks to my frostbite. All right. Oh, middling numbers, but I think that still might hit me. Let's see, where pitchfork +3 to hit. 12. Yeah, that's a hit. I'm not going to waste my spell slots on shields just yet when I have temporary hit points, I don't think.
Alright.
Okay, 4 points of piercing damage from that. It's not too bad. So it takes a. We have a little bit of a buffer zone at the moment from this, so I take a bit of a poke, but that's about it. And then 2 of them are both going to attack you, I'm afraid.
I know.
Okay. 1 rolls a 9 and misses you completely. The other rolls a 15. Up to you if you want to use shield or not. Or if you want to save your spell slots and let the temporary hit points soak damage.
I'll take the 1 hit.
But you also take 4 points of piercing damage. My dice are rolling very, very similar numbers today. And they are now effectively surrounding us specifically.
So, I assume that they're like overhead and they're trying to stab me?
Yep.
Because I'm...
Well, they're small, right? So they can float and hover right beside the bridge and stab at you. Above us is the giant wasp, so they're just on the sides of the bridge and poking at us.
Okay, so they're not above me.
There's 2 of them, basically. There's 1, basically there's 3, there's basically almost like blocking us off. There's 1 on one side of the bridge, poked you. The one that stabbed me on the opposite end, and there's the second one the one that missed you is basically floating at the end of the bridge trying to poke at you. They're basically trying to cut us off a little bit.
So they're behind me then.
One is.
Where's the other one?
Off to the side of the bridge. They're flying, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's their turn. You're up now.
I'm up now. I'm gonna first order the knight to attack Gregor.
So you're sending the knight after Gregor right away. Okay, that's the knight's orders. It will be doing that as soon as this turn comes up. What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm gonna look at these 2 that are trying to hit me. Can I get them in a 15-foot cone without hitting any of my friends?
You can get them in the cone, yes. But the wasp will also be caught in it. But no one else will be. The wasp is a little too big to avoid getting... It'll get caught in the edge as the cone goes outwards, basically. And goes upwards.
That's fine.
Okay. It does have temporary hit points.
Yep, I was thinking that myself.
Okay.
So I will use my first spell slot, and I will cast Burning Hands.
Oh, there it is. I rolled it with my dice tray. So this is a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. Wasp would have a pretty good advantage on that.
They all have the same dexterity, +2. Well, one of them rolled a natural 1. This die has rolled 3 1s so far this game.
Good. Save it for them.
The second one has rolled a 5. And the wasp has rolled a 17. This is going quite well so far.
And I rolled really well too, so we're looking at 13 points of damage. One of them takes 26 points of damage.
As the flames hit them, you notice that they don't burn quite as well as you were expecting. So,
oh, they're fire resistant.
So the damage that it would take from failing is halved, so it just is 13. But that's a very good blast. Alright, and the other one takes 6 damage, and so does the wasp. Which isn't really too bothered because of the temporary hit points. So that went quite well, actually. You did a good blast to all of them. And yes, they do. A number of fiends you've read about are resistant to fire. They don't seem to have cold resistance, but the fire resistance does seem to be there. Also, the bridge is a little singed. And there's embers and flames all along it. Now it's made of wood.
Oh well.
All right, so that's your turn. You don't really want to leave, I don't think.
Nope. Now we have 2. The wasp and Gregor.
Yes. So Gregor's. I know what the wasp's. Okay, the wasp has a higher dexterity, so he's going first. All right. So Wasp Knight, as we've been referring to him as, is going to fly over towards Zorik. And he can make it there. He's not too bothered by the blast of flame that hit him. He's a summoned creature, and he has temporary hit points. He's going to fly over. He can make it there, which means he's going to make his sting attack.
Oh, that's right. He has poison.
So, +4 to hit. A 6. That's not going to do it.
Not with Blur.
Oh, that's right, Blur. I forgot for a second. That's better, but no, 6. So 6 is the worst. He misses. But Zorik is well aware that he is now being attacked by something.
Yep.
Alright, Gregor, his turn. He heard what you said, obviously, because you had to say it aloud.
I didn't yell it.
You didn't have to say it above the buzz of the wings, though. Alright, Gregor is a little impressed by his troops all of a sudden, and he's going to cast Bless on his... he's going to cast Bless. He's going to cast it...
Right.
You only get 3 targets, and there's 5 of them. What do you... Nope, he is... Alright, so he casts Bless on himself, on Bilius, and one of his cultists. I was going to see if he was going to actually put his faith in his men, as it were, at the moment, who did some pretty good job. He's going to bless the one that missed, I guess. He thinks he needs some help. So 3 of them are blessed. He's going to note that down here. Bless. Alright. So that's Gregor's turn. He's, because he had to do that as an action.
Right.
Right. We have Mustafa now. Who took some acid to the face.
He has a few targets.
He cannot reach any of them. Unfortunately, the way we're on the bridge. No, he can move. No. One of them can move in such a way to attack the Keiko demon pawns that are attacking us. But but the way the bridge is arranged and the way we're fighting, one of them isn't going to be able to, so he'll be the one to move up.
Really?
We're just fighting at this point. Yeah, he's going to take a swing at the most damaged one.
Alright. Is that the one that got frosted?
No, that's the one that failed your burning hands.
Ah, okay.
And alright. And hits the side of the bridge. That's good.
Oh, why did I give him a magic sword?
Yeah, it's a 2. I don't think he's gonna... +5, still 7. And he does not have... Okay, yeah, no multi-attack, so... He's like...
Right.
Slippery little devil. So
we're getting down to the ones now.
oh, yeah.
We have
Albric
and we have
Bilius. Albric and Bilius. Alright, Bilius, you have a dexterity of +1. Albric, you have a dexterity of... +0, so Bilius is up first.
Alright, time for a
Yes,
saving throw.
because there is a lot going on. So his saving throw is... So he has to roll a 15. And he rolled a 15.
Alright, he can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants, which is probably going to take a swing at the giant spider right beside him. Which is probably what he was going to do if he failed. He is blessed, though. So he gets a bit of extra chance to hit this thing. Oh, wow. I think he's hitting it. They just look.
Most likely.
So he rolled a 5 and a 3 on the d4. So 8 plus 7 to hit is 15.
That should be enough.
Almost. It hits, but just barely. The giant spider has an armor class of 14.
Wow.
Alright, I need a d10. This one rolled well before. Plus 5 to hit the damage on this. Oh, wow. So, Bilius brings the hammer up and brings it right down on the head of the spider, for all intents and purposes, and caves its head in.
Spider's dead.
13 points of damage. It only had 12 hit points left.
Wow.
Giant spiders can do a lot of damage, but they're not the toughest creatures.
The first casualty.
The first casualty was the one we were probably worried about the most, I think.
I wasn't too worried at all when it attacked them. Would have if they were attacking us.
So yeah, it slumps to the ground, dead. And
wow. All right. The other one. Albrecht.
Is getting a. Yeah, he's a little. He can't quite. He is a dwarf, but he can't quite get in there to hit at them on melee, I'm afraid.
Really?
There's a little. No, there's all 4 of us at this point, and we're fighting it. And we need 5 feet, right, to be in for combat. So he can't get in there. He is going to move up to the front of the bridge where you're by your knight, and he's going to. He's going to hold his action for it. He's going to hold his warhammer ready. He's eyeing up Gregor's side and thinking that they've lost what was fighting them, so they might be coming in now. He's getting ready for that. All right. So we're back to the top of the round. So your knight is first, and it has its orders. Going for Gregor.
It has its orders.
Specifically.
Yes.
It has to dash to get there, because I assume its speed is 30, like normal humanoids. Yeah, okay. So, it runs up with its sword ready, and it is dashing right towards Gregor. He does have 3 cultists standing in front of him, and Bilius is off to the side now.
Yeah.
So, but that's fine. So, that's where the knight is going.
Yep.
Okay. Ivor is going to... He's done his speech, so he's going to take out his magic rapier.
So he should be able to attack.
He can, yes. But Albrecht is the odd man out, unfortunately. Just the way we're fighting on this bridge. Alright. There you are. That's another 2. I don't know what the civic members of this of Lakeside have against this bridge, but it's another sword hitting it.
Alright. Well, the 3 crazy acolytes are up next.
And one is blessed. Alright, so the knight is dashing up to attack their boss.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Alright, they're going to form up around the knight and take swings at him.
How many can get on him?
All 3.
Really?
Yeah, they just have to move up and sort of try to surround him a little bit.
Alright.
The knight's armor class is what?
15.
All 3 hit.
Oh.
Yep. I'm afraid they're rolling quite well.
Our side's not doing very well at all.
It's a total of 15 points of slashing damage to your knight. Temporary hit points are gone, and he's down 4 hit points.
Yep. Send him in as a...
The one who's been blessed is doing much better now, and the other ones were doing quite well before anyway. That's how it goes.
Alright.
Well, Zorik is up now. His giant spider is dead.
Yes.
He's going to look. He's not happy about that.
One of his other troops aren't either.
Sorry?
He also lost one of his
Oh, he
flyers.
hasn't yet?
Oh no, he hasn't. No,
They've all taken damage, but they're not down yet.
Alright. Well, now he's going to send a spell in.
Yeah, he does have the giant wasp beside him, too. This is a tough decision for him. page numbers for these ones like I usually do. I'm just going to count distance. Just within 60 feet. Just.
What's he doing?
Alright. Okay. He is going to raise his hand, and you see this, like, that sickly green aura.
Yep.
Glows around his hand and then forms into a beam which shoots out towards Gregor. Cast Ray of Sickness. At second level.
Oh, there we go.
At second level.
Wow.
Natural 20.
Oh, good God. This might be Gregor right there.
That's 3d8. Poison damage.
Times 2.
Yeah, you're not going to believe this.
Not all ones.
No! Other end! All
eights?
eights. I just want to take a picture of this because I don't believe it.
There's nothing left of him.
Alright. So 3 eights is 24 points of poison damage. Doubled to 48.
He is
Gregor
gone.
is instantly killed because, for anyone unaware of how D&D works, you can be killed instantly if you go down below to the negative amount of your hit point maximum. In Gregor's case, negative 18, which he does easily here.
Wow. That is insane.
Yeah. You see his, just like, he gets hit with the beam, and you can, whatever poison you put in his system before was nothing compared to this. He just, like, liquid fills his lungs and his throat, and he just asphyxiates as the poison takes complete hold over him. And he falls dead. Which means Bless goes away. Because
Alright.
he's not concentrating on it anymore. Needless to say, his side is more than a little shocked. Zorik is pleased by this. He seems to see this as a
one-shotted. Yeah.
He's just gonna stay there. The Wasp he doesn't see as too much of a threat at the moment.
Well, I suspect he's really happy at the moment.
So after Zorik is
Second casualty.
sorry.
So the second
Yes.
casualty.
So after Zorik is
Not what I expected.
me. I said, oh,
Alright, so
is me. I'm next after him.
yeah, Spider's gone now. Clear up.
Okay, not getting distracted by that. We do have some things right beside us, and I'm going to try and take them out. I'm going to hit the one beside me with Frostbite again. It's injured. Do I want? Yeah, I'm going to do this. I would indeed use a portent here to ensure its failure. So one of my portents is an 8 this morning.
Right.
So it's Constitution, which is +1. It fails.
Right.
So it's not going to be a crit, this time. But it's high number, please. 6 points of cold damage. I'm doing quite well on D6s today.
So it's down
16 hit points, but it's still up. It is
Wow.
in pain and agony, and it's like trying to keep flight with having more than half frozen at this point.
Yep.
But it's still up. Hardy little creatures.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, speaking of whom, it's their turn next.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. No, two of them are going to stick on you and I, but the third is all right. So the one that I just hit with frostbite, and the one that stabbed you before that failed the saving throw against the burning hands.
Yep.
They're going to stay on us. The third missed you and is a little annoyed by that. Is going to do Is going to fly overhead. So it's going to be leaving your melee range if you want to use your reaction.
Oh yeah.
But,
Oh. No.
okay. Neither am I. So
Just in case you want to cast shield.
no. So neither of us feel like hitting it with our reaction. So it gets away without getting hit with an attack of opportunity then.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the one against me. It has disadvantage because of good old frostbite. Unfortunately, I don't have very high armor class. Oh, but a 10 misses! Just. Alright, the one against you rolls a 22.
Oh, nothing stopping that.
And does 2 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
Yeah, those temporary hit points are coming in handy.
Oh yeah. Very happy about
The
that.
third one flew over us overhead and is going after I4. He notices that he seems to be slightly weaker than the rest of us, and these things have a sadistic streak. He does have high armor class, though.
One roll of 22 on
Well, a
this
second 22 is going to hit.
thing.
7 points of piercing damage. He's down.
Oh.
He gets a right in the back. And it yanks it out, and you see blood come out where just a part where the breastplate does not protect from. He's down to 2 hit points.
Yeah, I know that.
And the creature just gives an evil laugh. It's still just floating there, having its wings there. All right. So after the pawns, it's your turn. Well. So you.
I just saw that.
Yes, you did. There's also one that is still attacking you, to be fair.
True enough.
And the one that went after him is the healthiest looking.
Yeah, so that's the one only taken 6 so far. He only has 2 hit points left.
If you want, you could use your action to hand him a healing potion. He's right beside you. But it's up to you.
That is a problem. No, I'm gonna attack it. I'm gonna attack the one on him.
How are you doing that?
So, I'm not in melee with him, right? With
No,
that
you
one?
are in melee with the one right beside you, but you're not.
I'm gonna ignore him for the moment. I'm gonna firebolt the one that's attacking my
Okay, you already know that fire resistance.
I know, but it's, can't really use that.
Alright, roll.
That would be a 15 to
Hits.
hit.
So 1 point of fire damage, which cannot be reduced any lower. So it does take 1 point of fire damage. You clip it on the wing, it notices it.
That is sad.
Okay,
And that is my turn.
Giant Wasp's turn because Gregor is dead.
Oh yeah.
Alright, another sting attack with disadvantage. Another miss. I'm afraid 8 does not hit.
Yep.
Blur is really helping Zork out here.
Yeah, at our levels, you can barely hit normally.
Alright, the Giant Wasp is staying on him because that's all it's going to do. Mustafa's turn. He also saw that and is not happy with that. He is going to turn his attention towards that one. With the attack with his sword.
Right. Come on, Mustafa.
Okay. What was it? Plus 5, 17, that hits.
Excellent.
Alright. That's a low roll. That is a low roll damage. There's 5 points of slashing damage to it. Getting there, it's good. Yeah, between you and him,
Well,
you did a fair bit of damage.
we'll get that. Oh yeah, my one really helped.
It all goes to the same place. You do notice that fiends also tend to have some resistance to non-magic weapons, but it is a magic sword. So, the creature is a little surprised by the amount of damage it took from that.
Alright.
Alright.
That is Mustafa.
Bilius is up next because his dexterity is higher than Albrecht's.
His dad just got killed.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a reaction for that. He's just like, but he is clearly unhappy about that, but he is also but he's very angry, but he keeps his composure and is going to rush Zorik.
Well, technically he should roll another
Oh, you want to roll another one?
Yeah, he has to every round.
Oh, every round! He rolled a natural 20 to maintain his composure, and then he rolled a natural 1.
So, he is now...
Noble. Yep.
Noble. They're going to charge. Yeah, he's still going to charge.
There's one
the
thing.
sorcerer.
The cultists are still technically his allies. And they are in danger of your knight. No?
Nope. No.
No.
I attack. Told him to attack Gregor.
It's a little finicky, but yeah. So he's going to charge Zorik. It's going to take him 60 feet to just get to the dirt path, unfortunately, so that's his turn.
Well, the thing is, Zorik is the one who killed his dad, so it seems to make some kind of logical sense anyway.
Albrecht is going to turn and look in frustration because he can't get in and help us. Seeing that Gregor is dead, he is going to attempt to leap over the fence and go after Zork as well.
Oh, great! A dwarf leaping a fence. Let's see how this goes.
He manages it.
Okay.
Like, it was a DC 10 and he rolled a 10, so he manages it.
So not graceful,
Yeah.
but he made it.
And then he is going to, yeah, he can make it there. Run up and hit him with his hammer at disadvantage because of Blur. That's, okay, the lower one is 11. Come on. Albrecht, please tell me you have a +4 to hit 15. That hits.
Hey, the first hit on this guy.
Alright, D10 plus 2. 5 points of damage to Zorik.
There you go. First blood on him. Is that 5?
5. It was a low roll. But it hits. And he has to roll a Constitution save. Natural 1! He loses concentration on Blur.
Excellent. Now we can hit him again. Woohoo!
Yep. The blow is just enough to knock his concentration off and the spell fades.
Excellent.
He's not happy about that. Probably going to be going after Albrecht on his turn. So we're back to the top of the round, which is your knight. So its target is gone. However, summoned creatures do have another standby if they're not receiving any orders. And that is to defend themselves and attack anything attacking them, which was the 3 cultists who attacked me at the last turn. So I'm going to have you roll an attack roll against one of them.
Oh, wait a minute.
10? It misses. Yeah. And needless to say, you think the knights and the cultists are going to be duking it out for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, now the Bless is gone. It may be quite a while.
Ivor is up next. He took quite a beating, and he's going to turn and attack the one with his rapier. What is your... All these characters who I've never had to know the attack bonuses for before. Plus... Yes, that's a hit! That's just a hit! Their armor class is 13. D8. Plus 1. Plus 2. 8 points of piercing damage from the rapier. He runs it through, and you watch as the creature's form disintegrates as he hits something key in its body.
Excellent.
Alright, I just need to... Note one thing down here. Alright. That is one dead. He's he's injured badly, but he's still up.
Badly.
Alright, there's one.
But he's redeemed himself.
Is this... I just need to check one thing. Okay, yeah. Alright, so that's his turn. So the cultists are up next.
Alright. Yep. 3 acolytes are going to attack my poor little
Knight, because
harmless...
it did attack. It is a threat to them now. Well, it's the closest threat. Admittedly, Zork killed Gregor, but that doesn't necessarily mean they want to charge in and fight the guy that killed their boss. So all 3 of them are going to take swings at your knight. That's cocked. That's a 17. So we have a grand total of a natural 20, a 21, and a 20. It's not going to last long, I don't think. These cultists are in a mood to fight. Good grief, where were they earlier? We could have used the help. That's a total of 19 points of slashing damage. Your knight's dead.
Wow.
No.
Oop.
It's fine.
Alright.
The knight shatters like glass as opposed to diamonds. Once more.
Alright.
The good news is the initiative of tracker is now small enough that I can fit it all in one without scrolling.
Oh, I'm glad that's helpful.
It is helpful. So the knight is dead.
Yep.
The cultists, realizing the nearest threat has been dealt with, are looking a little around like, okay, what are we going to do now? It's like, we didn't think past that part.
Yeah. Guess I didn't expect them to be doing this well.
Alright, Zork is up next.
Yep.
He has a giant wasp on him, he has Ulbrich on him, and Bilius just on the other side of the fence.
Yep.
He is... I'm casting Blur. He only has 1 second of slot left. Yeah. Okay, he is going to take another chance. You see him draw upon the meta magic, which infuses him. And he's going to use it again. And he is going to use Twinned Spell. And he's going to bring his hands together and towards Ulbrich and Bilius, and you see he closes his hands around them. Alright, wisdom saving throws on your guys' part. Well, Bilius has an 8. Because we know he does...
I'm terribly wise, fellow.
Yeah. Ulbrich, what about you? Dwarves sometimes have good wisdom. Yes, but you rolled lower. You watch as they both just stop and like freeze in mid-moment as they are held by a hold person spell.
Alright.
So They're both paralyzed.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the best option he had at the moment, I think, when he had so many troops coming down on him. I'm just gonna roll for a moment to see. Is he gonna back away from? No, he's not. The wasp hasn't hit him yet, even. But that was middly to his blur spell, but he's not going to risk moving away. Just lose his bold person so soon.
All right. You're up next.
I'm up next. I am going to frostbite the one in front of me. Try to get rid of these things. That's a success. Yeah. Unfortunately, it saw it coming this time.
All right.
It's their turn now, unfortunately.
Oh, yes, that's right.
The good news is the one that was on Ivor is dead.
Yes, so there's just one on you.
And they're going to pick the same targets because... Okay, the one on me has rolled a 18, so that's above shield range, and the one on you has rolled another 22, I'm afraid.
Sure. Why not?
So that's a hit on both of us. Okay, I take 5 points of piercing damage, almost through the temporary hit points. You take 7, I'm afraid. So your temporary hit points are gone. You're down 1 hit point in total.
I'm down 1. And into my normal hit points.
Still, those temporary hit points.
I actually felt that
Those
one.
temporary hit points soaked a lot of damage.
Oh, they did. Well, it's my
You're
turn
up
now. And I see that Albrecht
Bilious.
Well,
Are
Bilious.
paralyzed.
I am going to cast Magic Missile on the sorcerer.
Casting Magic Missile on Zork, okay?
Two ones and a 4, fortunately. 9 points of damage to
Bolts
him.
fly towards him, and you see him turn, and he raises his hand, and a shield spell forms in front of him, blocking them. He says, "Good to try, wizard, but I know your tricks." I'm afraid that's...
Yep. He should be running out of spell slots soon.
He's burned through a lot.
Yep. Well, that's
Your
my go.
Unfortunately, yeah. That is a way to look at it, though. We're forcing him to use spell slots.
Yep.
Alright, it's the Wasp's turn now. Alright,
Yep.
straight roll this time, no disadvantage. I still think it misses. Get rid of the giant spider, it's dead. Yeah, a 10 does not hit, I'm afraid, even without blur.
Oh well.
Okay, so Mustafa is next. Alright, so he's like, okay, good. The Alderman is safe for the moment. He's going to look at the two there near us, and he's going to rush and help you. Yeah, take a swing at the one, because he missed it earlier. And he does again, I'm afraid. A 12 does not hit this thing.
Our side is just doing so bad.
Yeah, except for the fact that we're all still alive.
Oh, there's that.
There is that minor detail. Alright. So, it is now the two paralyzed people's turns. So, at the end of their turn, they get to save again.
Yep.
Bilious fails, but Albrecht succeeds.
Hey!
Unfortunately, it's at the end of his turn he saves, so that is his turn.
Back to the top of the round. Tell Ivor, don't engage anything. Just take it easy.
That is not that simple. What is this? Suddenly, we see where the Keiko Demon Pawn was. A ghostly image of it forms a moment, and it flies into Ivor. We saw something like this happen to me previously, last time we killed one of these things.
Oh,
They have some sort of possession ability after they die. Fortunately, you see Gregor just strain and... Sorry, Ivor strain and... pull, and you see its form dissipate into air. He saved against it. But now we all got a reminder of what these things can do, and there's still 2 of them up.
Yep, I forgot about that part. Of course, I haven't hit one of them yet anyways, it doesn't really matter.
You have.
No, the Burning Hand.
Yeah, so you're down 2 spell slots.
I know, I only have 1 left. Alright.
So you told him not to engage.
He only has 2 hit points left.
Nope, he seems to be willing. He wants to keep fighting. He sees that you're receiving help from Mustafa. He's going to help me with the other one.
Alright.
That's a hit, and I don't think he can... I'll roll just for the effect, because I don't think he can roll under. No. He had 2 hit points left. There's another one dead. And another saving throw coming up for him. That's 2 down now.
Yeah. No, 3 on his side.
Alright. It's the cultist's turn.
Well, they're all there by themselves.
Yep.
They're in a runner charge. That's it.
They are... Alright, well, let's see. Alright, so one of them looks like he says, "We should go," and he says, "No, we can still do this. After this, we will be the power in the cult of Mithras," everyone says. And the other one seems to agree, and they're like, and they're all going to rush in. Says, we have to deal with them. All 3 of them are going to dash, and they're coming to the bridge towards us.
Oh, alright.
We are the side that still has all its members, I guess they. But that's their turn.
Okay.
Zorik is up now. Okay, Ulbrich recovered from that. That's irritating.
Yes, the sorcerer.
He's used up all his second level spell slots and all his sorcery points.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
Alright, well, he's got 2 targets within very close distance to him. So he's going to pull out one of his close range cantrips. Yep. He raises the same clawed hand he's been using, and this spray of green/yellow poison sprays out of his hand in the direction of the wasp. He's casting poison spray on the wasp.
Okay.
Alright, Constitution saving throw from the wasp. That's a fail. Alright, hello D12. I have never rolled you before. So, the wasp takes 3 points of poison damage. It's a cantrip, they only do so much. The wasp still has some temporary hit points left.
Oh yeah, it's less 4 of them.
3.
I thought you said took 5 and then took 3 this time.
That might count as 3 temporary hit points left.
Oh. Alright. I thought it took 5 the first time, 3 this time.
Alright. Unfortunately, Zorik is a little annoyed. It's like, but he's fine for the moment. Might not be as this round goes on, because he does have a very angry dwarf that is no longer paralyzed.
So after him, it's
Me. Yep.
you.
Alright. There's only one of these things left. Yeah. Do I want to be the one to finish it off? Is the question.
Shoot at Zorik. Don't worry about the stupid bugs.
That's probably a good idea, I think.
Yeah, cast Frostbite on him, or...
I can. I was thinking maybe Magic Missile,
Or you
but
can-
he might just shield again.
Well, you gotta use them up.
Yeah, I haven't cast any spells yet. Let's go with Magic Missile. Alright. Oh, 2 fours. Yeah, and he does cast shield in response to block it again.
Oh, so we almost out of spell slots
He
now.
is looking a little concerned about that, realizing that we are using a tactic that definitely forces him to expend his magic much quicker than ours. He's not liking the looks of the odds at the moment, because they've definitely diminished in his favor. Oh, it's the remaining demon.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about him.
It's still on me, right?
He's still on me,
Still
right?
on you, and he's going to keep poking you.
There you go.
There you go.
That's 21.
There's a roll below.
There's a roll below 20.
I know! One of them is doing well! That's 7 points of piercing damage. It's to you.
Ow.
Ow.
Yeah, in the shoulder. It's like, ah!
Oh, now it's me.
Oh,
Now it's
me.
you. You're down a fair bit of health, so...
I am going to
I am going to, as a bonus action,
take a healing potion.
take a healing potion.
Alright.
To start
Start
off,
off my round.
to start off my round.
Gain
Gain
back.
back 5 hit points.
That was a poor potion.
A 1,
A 1, a 2, plus 2.
Well, it helps.
That's okay.
So it's still in front of you.
I'm ignoring him. I'm gonna firebolt the sorcerer.
Fireballs. Okay. Shield is still up, by the way.
that's 20.
That's a 20.
His armor class with shield is 20. So you hit.
Hey.
5 points of damage.
5 points of damage to him.
Alright. And he has to make another concentration check. He makes this one, though.
Down a whole 10 hit points.
He makes this concentration check, so Delius is still held.
Alright.
Alright.
That's me.
That's me.
He is annoyed.
I'm done.
Alright, it's a giant wasp now. Come on, do something, Waspinator.
Living up your...
Living up your
No,
old
his old reputation
reputation.
is he gets blown up all the time. He's still in here.
That's true.
It was a 16 and that rolled to a 6. So it's another miss.
Alright.
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 Well.
So it's Mustafa now. He is going to take a swing at the last pawn because it's the closest target, right? That's a hit. I don't think you have +4 damage on this attack, though. He does 4 points of slashing damage to it. It has 1 hit point left.
Alright.
All right. No, actually, he's thinking. No, he's not going to. That's good. He's going to use a fighter ability called Action Surge. Lets him take an extra action immediately, once per day.
Alright.
Finish it off.
Gonna finish it off.
Natural 20.
Or try to.
Alright.
Alright. Don't have to roll anything for that.
Decapitates, bifurcates the creature basically.
What a waste.
What a waste.
It's gone though, so we are no longer being harried by anything. Oh, except the cultists which are rushing up here, which they might rethink that now.
Yeah.
But you do see 2 more of these ghostly images forming as they fall.
Yes.
Okay. It's Mustafa's turn. That's Mustafa's turn. Bilius is up first because he's a higher save. No. That was a 2.
Then it is
Albrecht. He's right there with Zorik, and he is not happy.
Oh, I bet not.
Okay, that's a good start. 15. Shield is still up. That's a miss. I don't think any of them have a multi-attack. Yeah, no. Okay. So we're back to the top of the round. Ivor needs to make a saving throw.
Another one.
That's a 3. That's a fail.
So what happens to him?
True, we haven't seen this happen yet.
No.
Alright. So, there are 3... No, there aren't. There's technically 2. See him turn in my direction with his sword and stab at me with his rapier. So, as per the rules of this ability, I was not expecting to get stabbed by my ally, so I'm surprised that he has advantage on this attack. 2 and an 8. Plus, using his... But I can't react to it, unfortunately, because I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to get stabbed by my own ally. Yeah, so 12, that does hit me.
Yep.
There's another side effect to this called Sadistic Glee, which is an ability that these creatures have. And when they're possessed, their possessor inherits it for the round. Because I was surprised, he gets to roll an additional damage die on the attack. Alright. Alright, ow. I take 11 points of piercing damage.
Oh.
How many temporary hit points?
How many temporary hit points do you have?
3.
You have 3 left?
You have 3 left?
I had 3, so I'm down. I actually take 8 points of damage from my actual hit points.
You're down to 10.
You're down to 10.
Ah!
Alright. That's not
I
good.
take the wound, and then you see the sinister and sadistic look fade from his face as he realizes that he's just stabbed me. It seems the effect only lasts 1 round.
Well, that's good. Saves me having to beat him on the head
But
and knock him out.
he did stab me.
Yeah, we still have
And that's his
Mustafa.
turn.
He has.
And that's his turn.
That's his turn, yep.
Alright, the cultists are up next.
Yep.
So, they have seen me get stabbed. We're both beaten. Ivor looks pretty weak, so they're going to... Oh, all 3 of them can't get up. Yeah, so, okay. 2 of them are going to take swings at Ivor.
That's not good.
1 hit.
Well, I'm going to take 1.
So he takes... So 1 swing hits the back of his breastplate, but the other one buries the scimitar in his side. Takes 5 points of slashing damage, or piercing damage if he's being stabbed. So he is unconscious at -3 hit points and falls to the ground. So he's on death saves from now on. Unless they stab him again. The 3rd one can't make it there, so he's just holding his action with his sword if anything comes within range for him to hit. His turn.
Alright. Okay. So we're down to the sorcerer.
Yeah. You were the only one who managed to hit him there, which is funny. But he's not happy because he's He's being forced to exhaust himself quite here. Elfir.
Yep.
But he is stubborn. He is...
Okay. What's it gonna do?
He is going to step out of melee range with both the Wasp and Albrecht.
Oh, there's two attacks of opportunity.
Yes, and shield is not up at this point. Alright. Come on, that has to be a hit. Okay. The Wasp manages to hit him.
Finally!
That's the first time.
That's the
Yes,
first time,
it's the
isn't
first
it?
thing the that Waspinator has hit. Alright, Albrecht. That's a miss, I'm afraid.
I'd rather he hit.
Okay, 1d6 plus... Okay, he takes 5 points of piercing damage from the stinger. And then,
Yep.
for the good part,
Saving throw.
oh, plus 3d6 poison damage.
Woohoo!
2 6s and a 4. 16 points of poison damage. Oh!
Wow, He's taking 31 points of damage.
That was a good sting. And there's anything else to this? Yeah, a Constitution saving throw on top of it all. That's a success, though.
Poison disadvantage.
Yeah, it's only an 11.
What's that?
Oh. No. Sorry, we did that wrong. He takes half the poison damage on success. So he's up 8 hit points. Alright. That's not as bad. But he is...
So he's down 23 hit points from my total.
Yeah,
What I figured
that's
out here. Okay.
And he's like, well, this seems to have been an unfortunate morning. And for his action, he's casting a spell that you recognize on himself. Expeditious Retreat. And he turns and is going to use the remainder of movement and the free dash to move 55 feet in this away from here. He is running.
Yep.
Alright, so he is running away off the direction of the plateau.